Hello, everyone. All right, it is July, and this month we are going to learn to believe in possibilities. And I am so excited for this month. You can choose to believe anything you want to believe, and I want you to think about possibilities that will blow your mind. So, if you think about it, everything that has ever been created in the world began with a thought. Everything. The chair I'm sitting on, the roads we drive on, the cars we drive in, the technology I'm using to talk to you, everything started with a thought. And a thought itself is simply a creation as well. So, you're creating a thought, and then you're practicing believing that thought, and then you're creating the results from that thought. Okay, so the process of creating that thought is a creation. So exciting. So if you think about your life, in terms of it is a collection of results. So you look around and you see everything in your life, everything that you've created, it all started with a thought. Your job or your career, your family, everything you choose in your life started with a thought that then created a result. So most of us don't really understand that, and we just keep thinking the same thoughts over and over and over again and creating the same results. So we look to our past to determine what our future will look like. Okay? And we just end up recreating our past over and over again. And then our life just kind of stays the same and there's no change. So what I want to encourage you to do is to look to your future to create new thoughts to believe. Okay? All of your current beliefs are based on your past thoughts that you're just thinking over and over again. And that's what a belief is. A belief is simply a thought that you think repeatedly, so often, it just becomes an ingrained belief. So, the first step to believing in possibilities, your very first step is to create a new thought. Okay? And the second step is you're going to have to practice believing it. And you have to feel and act from your future self. So you create a thought and you're going to practice believing it. Now, that may be difficult if you want to create a mind-blowing thought. That can be a little challenging to believe right away. So we might want to take it in baby steps. Okay? So you create the thought, and then you're going to start practicing believing it. And as soon as you believe that thought, you're going to be thinking from your future self. My dog is playing with her squeaky toys right here. All right. So you create the thought. You have to practice believing it. And then at some point, it is going to click with you. You can feel it. You can feel it in your bones, and suddenly you believe it. And you can't just stop thinking it. You have to continue to believe it until it just simply becomes effortless. So I want you to think about the concept that our past only exists in our story about it. Our past only exists in our mind. I've talked about that before. It's all in our story about it. And on the flip side, our future only exists in our imagination. So we create our future based on our thoughts and beliefs. And all of our thoughts are completely optional. So it only makes sense to strive for the most mind-blowing beliefs and thoughts and results that we want to create. So it's really a future-focused way of thinking, creating ahead of time what we want to believe in, what we desire in our life, and then we have to start believing our way into it. So, for example, maybe your goal is you want to make $100,000 a year, a month, whatever it might be. You have to create the thought that you are someone who makes $100,000. And you have to, again, practice that skill of believing it and believing in something without knowing the steps or the hows. So often we want to set a goal and then we immediately start, okay, well, I don't know how. What are the steps? I've never done it before. I don't know what to do. And that's the exact wrong way to do it. The skill of believing is way more powerful if we don't see the hows. So let's see. Because we're not always going to know the hows, and they're just going to be very difficult to see if we don't believe it. So, for example, if I had a DeLorean, a magic DeLorean that took you into the future and showed you have created that result in the future and you could see it for yourself, you would believe it. Suddenly, the how to get there is going to be a lot less important because you already know, you already believe that that's going to come true for you. And then your brain will start to notice all the evidence to support the fact that you are someone who created that goal. That's your result in the future. And, our brains are always going to look for evidence, right? So your brain's going to start creating the answers. It's going to start creating the hows. So you don't get caught up in it. And here's the other reason that you don't want to get caught up in the hows. Because if you set out all your steps ahead of time, the hows change. The hows change and evolve. And if you think the only way to get to that goal is to follow these steps, and then you run into an issue with one of those steps and things don't go your way, you lose sight of that end result. You lose belief in the fact, and you lose belief in your ability to create that end result because you're so stuck on the hows and the steps of it. So you'll have a lot less belief in it. So it's more about who you're going to become along the way. You decide ahead of time, this is the result I want, this is the belief, these are the thoughts that I'm going to believe to create a result. And like I said, you believe your way into it. So I'm gonna come in here Tuesday at 2. I'm gonna come in and give you some worksheets to do, give you some we're gonna go through the process of learning to believe that. So for right now, I want you to think about what it is you want to believe. What is it? Are you thinking of changing your career? Are you thinking of, is it a financial goal that you want to have? Do you want to pay down some debt? Whatever it is that you want to create in your life, I want you to start thinking about that. And then I want you to come up with a thought that you are going to start believing. Okay? And then, so I will see you here Tuesday at 2. I'd love to hear about it. What is your goal? Let me know. You can let me know in the comments or shoot me a message. And I'm doing calls, so my calendar's open. I've made some space in my calendar. So let me know if you want to get on a call, and we can talk about some things. And I hope that you have had a fantastic weekend. We have had incredibly warm weather. Very hot weather. So I'm just very excited for this month. I can't wait to hear what all of you come up with as your goals. So have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.